Fucking yes, man.
What's going on YouTube? It's Novice here, and today we're going to be going through the solo flawless run of the Grasp of Avarice dungeon. If you guys find this video useful, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Start off today's video with recommended loadouts. For a kinetic weapon, you're going to go with something close quarters, whatever you kind of feel comfortable with. In the energy slot, we're going to go with a fusion rifle, and in the heavy slot, we're going to go with a linear fusion rifle. My first tip for today is take your time. This is my first ever run of a flawless dungeon, and it took me an hour and 37 minutes, but I done it first time. Patience is key. Moving on to my loadout, we had Time Lost Fatebringer with the Depth Big Ones mod. Energy was a Cartesian coordinate with the boss spec, and for the heavy it was Sleeper Simulant. You'll notice that my Sleeper Simulant doesn't have the catalyst, but with the buff that it got on the 30th anniversary, it still hits any boss like a train. Moving on to the Hunter Exotic, we're going to go with the Omnioculus, and then we're going to pair that with Protective Light, and then either Taking Charge or Elemental Charge. We'll get onto how to activate these mods in just a moment. When jumping over here, make sure to jump onto the left gate, stand there for a second and wait for it to fall, and just jump straight into the hole. Getting back to charging up these armor mods. Elemental Charge, Elemental Ordnance, which means getting a kill with a grenade that spawns a well, or Elemental Light, which is getting a kill with your super. Picking these up makes you charge with light. We've got Taking Charge. The best way for this one is having masterworked weapons. So making sure your primary and energy is masterworked, and then picking up the orbs. This was my first close call on this dungeon, so I'll let you enjoy it. I accidentally double jumped as I'm a Titan main. This was my first scare, shall we say. As you can tell from my face, that melee definitely saved my life. This is one of the ones you really need to look out for. Opening this door and then quickly getting up some of these stairs and into one of the hidey holes, because if this ends one of your runs, it's not a good day. Moving on to the first encounter against the Ogre, you're probably looking to do kind of between 3 and 5 phases on this. If it takes you more, don't panic. I'm going to start by taking out these adds here on the left, and then taking the Scotch Cannon Vandal out at the back. As you can see, I've kept my Scotch Cannon from the previous encounter. I find it easier starting with the left door, looking from the perspective of the Vandal at the back. Going in there, popping your super straight away, because as soon as you pick up the 10 engrams, you got your super straight back. Using them smokes to keep you invisible and giving you that damage resistance. Once we've picked up all the engrams, we're heading back to the crystal and growing that crystal. Going back to the back of the map, clearing any other adds, and opening the right hand side. Same again with the super, popping it straight away, because as I said, we're getting it straight back when we're picking up the 10 engrams. As soon as we've collected all the engrams, we're back to the crystal, growing it, and it's damage phase. You can either damage from where you've just cleared these adds from, or you can go up to the balcony on the left hand side, once again from the perspective of the Vandal that spawns at the back. Starting off that damage phase with the fusion rifle to prep the particle deconstruction, and then just hitting them with the Sleeper Simulant. Using cover when needed. There may still be adds to your right hand side. Keeping out of the way of them and the boss is pretty tricky. The key here is to stay alive. Like I said, if it takes you 5 or 6 damage phases, then there's absolutely no issue with that. Rinse and repeat all these steps, and then this took me 4 damage phases I think, and then just keep on going until you get that final kill. And like I said, using cover, if you need to go in vids, make sure we're doing that. Patience is key. Another piece of advice would be something that's going to become useful throughout the rest of the raid, and that's keeping hold of that Scotch Cannon for as long as possible. The longer you hold it, the less time that there will be a Scotch Vandal out in the field attacking you, and we all know how frustrating it is being shot by a Scotch Cannon. This next bit is perhaps the most dreaded part of this encounter, because it's potentially the easiest part, but also the most difficult in the same way. Some people think that you need a special sparrow for it. You don't. I use just a normal exotic sparrow, same speed as any other ones. Until this point, I had never completed this. I've never tried it solo, but with the fire team that I usually roll with, I had never finished this. The guys were always well ahead of me getting through this bit, and I had never got to the end without dying. So I was super nervous at this point. I think the route that I took was pretty good. but there's a lot of flaws on this run. So if you do this 20% better than added, you'll have absolutely no issues with your run. The main thing here is just be confident. Don't doubt yourself, like just go for it and you'll get there. Making sure we're changing sparrows at any point. This one, it clearly doesn't have a lot of durability, but I was changing sparrows at any point that I got. Like I said, be confident and you'll do it. I'll let you enjoy my reaction of getting it. The nerves were getting to me.
Fucking yes, man.
Moving on to the Fallen Shield. Very quick, very simple one. Making sure we're dealing with the Scotch Cannon Vandal, because he hits you like a train, and making sure that we're always getting rid of the Burdened by Riches debuff. Multiple times that I almost forgot about these while trying to get the Servitor to the cannon, making a last ditch run to get rid of that debuff. Making sure you're using your smoke bombs to go invis when depositing to the crystal. This will take you a little while, but take it easy. There's absolutely no rush. If you miss a bomb or it falls off, just stay calm and move on to the next one. We did it. We're finally here. The final boss. I said the sparrow part would be the scariest thing, but now we're finally at the final boss. This is 100% the scariest part of the dungeon. We're so close yet so far. You guys want to start this by taking out the shank and the invis heavies in the middle. These guys would be an absolute pain if you don't. Best thing to do is get to the back of the map, use the pod as cover, and take out these guys, whether you're using their super, using your Scotch Cannon, or using your heavy. If you don't have heavy going into the damage phase, then you can put it off and kill more adds until you get more heavy. There's a total of 60 engrams to be banked to the crystals for it to reach the damage phase, and once you kill the invis guy, he drops your first 10 straight away. So as soon as he's dead, go invis, get the engrams, and then straight to the crystal. Please, please, please don't step in the water. Stay as far away from the water as you possibly can. It'll kill you instantly, and it'd be such a sad way to end a flawless run. Jumping back to that safe zone at the back of the map and grabbing that Scotch Cannon before it despawns. Like we said earlier, making sure we're keeping hold of that Scotch Cannon for as long as possible so that extra Vandal is not spawning. Make sure we're dealing with the adds on the right hand side, then charging up that cannon to release the engrams. We have our first 10 already put into the crystals, then we'll get 20 here, and then we'll do 20, and then we'll just finish off with an easy 10. Making sure we don't pick up more than 10 on the last one, so that we're not wasting any crucial DPS time against the boss. Once you finally hit that damage phase and you've deposited 60 crystals, the boss will quickly teleport back to the pod where he spawned from, hitting him with that fusion rifle to proc particle deconstruction, and then hit him with a sleeper simulant. Hit him with that super, making sure you're using cover from the boss and the adds on your left and your right. If you feel like you're taking too much damage, duck out, it's not worth it. Once the damage phase ends, rinse and repeat again, and then 3 or 4 damage phases later, you get to the final DPS phase. If you want to see stuff like this live, pop over to twitch.tv/NovusIndigo, where I'll be doing all this new content. I'll let you enjoy my live reaction and the lovely pirate music. If you guys did enjoy the video, please leave a like, comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks guys.
Come on.